Okay, so very quickly through the newspaper headlines, we'll get to our talking points in the immediate aftermath of that. I should have had the front of the sports section open and ready here from the Irish Times. It's Joe Schmidt, opportunity knocks for new faces. So 3 uncapped players in the giant 42-man squad for the 4 tests of the November series. Obviously, we're heading off to Soldier Field to play the Italians. And it's pretty interesting. James Tracy misses out again. With 7 props named, James Cronin and Stephen Archer also well down. It's going to be hard for Ultan Deland, says Jerry Thornley, who won the last of his 11 caps against Fiji a year ago. So they're not saying that you've no chance of making the squad for the World Cup, but Jesus, you're going to be tearing up trees. Right?
Yeah, it's fairly ring-fenced now, I think.
Okay, so it is thrown by rumours. Murray angry at whispers but would stay silent again is the subheading on the front page. His new deal with Pinergy announced yesterday, which is a little bit different from what he was saying to Joe last night. It was like, yeah, we'd probably do things a bit differently, you know.
Yeah, did he make that admission?
Well, just like, it wasn't that big a deal and it got out of hand.
Well, they might have nipped it at the bud, but
yeah. So the Racing Post, victory for Cheltenham as court bans ticket touts, which is an interesting story there. Like, this ticket touting, there was a move through the Dáil. Did it finish? Did it get the whole way through? We can check on that.
Can't quite remember. Noel Rock was certainly heading that up. I'm not sure it did actually get all the way through.
Salah's quick 50, Red Star fastest to milestone in club's history. So there you go. Somebody did a bit of work instead of shouting on about it before.
Well, it was an accurate presumption.
Winter training ban sees Lilley's return on day of first game. This is the O'Byrne Cup has been moved forward this year. It's going to be in December because, you know, we need inter-county football in December. We definitely do. And that is the first day that Kildare are going to be allowed to collectively train.
That's good. Like, that's the way it should be.
December the 8th. Is that isn't that like
Culture Christmas? That's what you guys call it, isn't it?
It's an important day. Is that the day that's the day they ride, is it? Get pregnant?
Is it?
I think so, isn't it?
Who's they?
Mary and the Lord. Murray, we can do better than reaching World Cup semi-final. Injured start to miss. Injured start. It was the Holy Spirit, right? Wasn't that? That's the story. Injured start to miss November test, but insists biggest prize of all to be a realistic target. So I don't know about this, right? What do you do if you're heading off to the World Cup next year, and you've beaten everybody, and everybody's going to say, "Oh, yeah, you've never made a quarterfinal, more than a quarterfinal." How do you answer those questions for the next year?
We're going to win the World Cup.
But like, that gets down to South Africa and New Zealand, and they're like, all right.
Yeah.
All right, Mr. Quarterfinalist boy.
It'll get down to Argentina, who would feel that they have the edge over us at that time of the year as well.
So what do you say? What's the answer? We're going to take one game at a time. We're going to, you know, not get ahead of ourselves. Big challenge heading over Soldier Field, out of our comfort zone, different pitch, the weather, who knows what it's going to be like.
So you're saying be boring.
Like, what do you say?
We can do better than reaching World Cup semi-final. That's what Conor Murray should be saying at this juncture. Maybe say one game at a time next year, but now we've got to keep spirits up, keep talking that talks. But I'd say we'll get into that rugby in just a moment, just to run down through the rest of the back pages. The Herald goes with Jurgen's Red Stars run riot. That's Liverpool's win against Red Star Belgrade last night. While the back page of the Irish Daily Mail go with Tottenham, PSV 2, Spurs 2, and they're brought to their knees once again, says Matt Barlow. World class then reads the rugby headline here. Murray says Ireland can go further than a semi-final in Japan, much the same as the Irish Independent there. The back page of the Sunday this morning is we don't deserve to be in Champions League. Pochettino says there is no excuse for flop. And Ace Mo crowds him out as Liverpool beat Red Star 4-0 at Anfield. Back page of the Irish Daily Mail this morning is Salah raises the bar. Mo the record breaker as Reds hit the heights. And Young goodbye. It's nearly over, says Poch, as Lloris sees red. Back page of the Star then is Pool's mojo is back. Nifty 50 for Red Star Salah. And it's nearly over for us, says Pochettino. Sarri gives Yanni a chance. And Players Chief slams FAI snub. So Stephen McGuinness last night headed out the FAI, claiming the association had issued a snub, I should say, to this year's PFA Ireland Player of the Year awards. None of the invitations to their Abbottstown neighbours to attend next month's glitzy Marco Hotel Bash have been accepted, according to the Players Union chief. The FAI have declined to comment on McGuinness's remarks, which were made on the League of Ireland weekly podcast. The Guardian then, back page, is Spurs on the brink. Lloris sent off as Tottenham throw away lead in Eindhoven, and Liverpool turn on style to shoot down Red Star at Anfield. The other story here on the back page of The Guardian is sworn testimony. Determined Mourinho denies FA's offensive language charge. I thought that was done and dusted.
No, he's got the opportunity to appeal it. It's the language and it's the little Mickey thing.
So he has decided to contest the account in the strongest possible fashion.
As he should. He can say he was drinking tea. He was like, oh yeah, I'm accusing him of being he likes China, he likes tea. I don't know. Like, what difference does it make?
Yeah, like...
this is the soap opera that they want from Mourinho, and then they're like, oh, don't do that, we're going to put you on the sidelines.
Well, that's the thing, whenever I'm drinking tea, I'm always saying F off SOBs as well. It's what you do before you, I don't know. No, it is what you do. Like, I'm on Mourinho's side in this.